of God. For when you say I'm a Christian, you're saying I'm a son of God. And as a son of God, you need to be like the Son of God, Jesus Christ. And the nature that is being spoken of is that to be resemblant to Jesus Christ. Hence why he said, teach me your ways. And then he said, so I can fear your name, or teach me to fear your name. And in the closing of verse 14, David says something that outlines the enemy we are fighting and his nature and who it is that is leading the force of people who come against us. He says that there are men who are wicked or evil, who are coming to kill him. There is a crowd that is against him, of which he closes off the verse by saying that it is those who do not show their faces before you, O Lord. And we know that only those who have been cast out of the presence of God are the ones who can never show their faces to the Lord. That being the angels who rebelled against God, that being the enemy Satan, who has been bound in chains for eternity. That is the one who can never show his face before the Lord. That is the one who leads people, or who influences people to have thoughts of wickedness, of which if when man acts upon those thoughts, they then become wicked. He is the accuser, the adversary of God, the one who comes to poison the flock of God. That is the moving force, or that is the force behind wickedness, of which he can never show his face before the Lord ever again. But in speaking of this same enemy, let us speak of where he is and how much power he has. This enemy has no power, for he only exists freely in the world or in earth. But in eternity, he is bound in chains. That means that the enemy we are fighting is an enemy whose bark is worse than his bite. Why? Because he is powerless in eternity. He is only free to roam on earth. He is like a prisoner calling out to people who are outside. He is in a prison. The same way that if you are passing by a prison, there used to be a prison in a place where I stay, wherein when you're walking past that prison, prisoners would be shouting out to people outside of the prison that, hey, do this, hey, give me this, how is the weather today, how was soccer yesterday, how was this? That is what the enemy is doing. Hence why to us, he makes suggestions. He does not push us and he does not control us, but he makes suggestions. The same way that the prisoners who are in prison, they don't have real freedom, and because they don't have freedom and they can't control or touch anyone, they suggest things to the people outside. They ask questions to the people outside. It is the same nature of the enemy we are fighting, an enemy without no actual power. And because he has no power and he can no longer show his face before the Lord, he makes men, no, he does not make men. He tries to get the children of men to rebel against God, the same way that he and his fallen angels rebelled against God. And that's why he makes suggestions, so that we may be wicked. And once we are wicked, we may no longer be able to show our faces before the Lord. For all who reject the Lord are wicked, and all who reject the way of God can never show their faces before God. Why? Because they are to die with instantly. Hence why even God said to Moses that I cannot show my face to man, for if I do, you shall die. In this, God was addressing the fact that because